This looks so good. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abigail, and today we're doing a video where you can see the ring light in my glasses the whole time, and that's okay, and we're gonna accept that about today's video because it's nighttime, and we'll deal with it next time. Yay! But the actual video that we're filming today is I'm going to recommend you some books based on some books you probably already like. I tried to pick books that I really love that are pretty popular, and then find books I thought were comparable to them that are maybe less popular that you haven't heard about before that I also really loved. Let me pull up my little listy-loo on my iPad that's about to die. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so let's just start with the book that inspired this video. If you liked Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which at the time of me writing my script had a 4.2 out of over 1.8 million reads, then you should read Groupies by Sarah Priscus. This book has a 3.38 out of 3,370 reads, so very, very much less. A lot less. So if you like the 70s band rocker energy of Daisy Jones and the Six, you will really enjoy this book. This book follows a group of young women, late teens, early 20s, who are groupies to this band. This book talks a lot about the dynamics between bandmates and their groupies, the exploitation and objectification of women, and female friendship. This was a personal 5-star for me. The vibe of it was off the charts. The 70s like rocker, like kind of grungy thing that all the girls had going on had the same kind of energy that you got from Daisy Jones and the Six. I really enjoyed the focus of female friendship in this book. The foreword, or like the dedication, says, for the girls who love hard, who love recklessly, who love too much. And that was my Instagram bio for many years. I shortened it to for the girls who love recklessly because that like really stood out to me, and I will agree that this is for the girls who have a big old heart and love recklessly. If you're a girl's girl, you should read this book. This book was just such a good time, and also the cover is so cunty, and I just so enjoyed it. I highly recommend this book. I've never seen anyone talk about it. At the time of me writing my script, it had less than 4,000 reads, so this is a little underground beauty darling that I highly, highly recommend. Up next, this is one that you've probably heard about before, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway because I love to talk about it. If you liked Throne of Glass as a series, obviously I'm just gonna be bringing up the first book, but if you like the series Throne of Glass, which at the time this particular book has a 4.18 out of over 2 million reads, then you should read Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. At the time of writing my script, this had a 4.18 out of 233,000 reads, which needs to be way higher. Spark of the Everflame itself is a personal 4 stars, but the series overall so far is a 5 stars for me personally. I think I gave a 4 stars to Throne of Glass, but then obviously Throne of Glass is like the best thing I've ever read in my entire life. So like 1,010,000 stars the series gets. This book has the same level of world building, of lore, badass female main character stepping into her power, of found family, a bunch of like kind of ragtag misfit outcasts finding their place together and defying all odds. It has the same energy, the same vibes as Throne of Glass. Reading this book for the first time was the closest I have felt to reading Throne of Glass since I last read Throne of Glass, if that makes sense. Like, this is the book that made me feel the most similar feelings as when I read Throne of Glass since I read Throne of Glass, which, if you've read Throne of Glass, you know it's like a very, very high praise. Yeah, this book is amazing. This book follows our main character, DM, who is a mortal in a world where the hierarchy is made up of descendants on top, the magic wielders on top, and mortals on bottom. Her mother goes missing, and as she tries to figure out the situation and context around her mother's disappearance and search for her mother, she gets the unique opportunity to step into the world of the descendants by working as the king's healer. All I'm gonna say, because I think that you should read this and find out more for yourself, but this book is absolutely amazing, iconic, scrumdiddlyumptious, and Penn Cole is like the sweetest, most amazing human ever. I've had the opportunity to meet her and spend some time with her, and she's just so amazing and so sweet and so thoughtful, and her books are amazing. Right now, it's 3 books, but it's going to be 4. We are waiting on the release date for the 4th one. Very, very patiently. If you like Throne of Glass, you should definitely consider checking this out because it's just so good. Next up, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which at the time, again, of filming this and writing my script, has a 4.17 out of over 1.4 million reads. If you liked the dual timeline, mysterious, like, curse, fate thing, if you liked the romance that kind of is like underneath there, if you like the fun prose that V.E. Schwab is so amazing at, the fun kind of like lyrical, beautiful kind of prose, you should check out Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stevenson. This book has a 3.68 out of over 52,000 reads. It is so good. I was not really having this on my radar. It was my book club pick, and I was kind of just like, I'll read it because it's my book club pick, but I wasn't really expecting to really enjoy it. I was sorely mistaken. This book was so good. About these two characters who kill each other in every lifetime. They always reincarnate and somehow they find each other, and before they turn 18, one of them kills the other. And you don't really know why. You're kind of trying to like figure it out. You're kind of just like, I don't know what's going on. It has one main timeline that occurs throughout the whole book, but then it has various other timelines of their different histories together that weave throughout the story and add context and add depth to their relationship. One of my favorites was the Russia timeline. I remember reading that. It was like so... The prose is beautiful, the story is intriguing, the relationship dynamics between the two characters is so interesting and fun, and it's just such a good time read. For me, this is a personal 4 stars, and I highly recommend it. I give it to my sister, who's like, you know, kind of a casual reader, like not a huge reader, and definitely had never really read fantasy outside of like Harry Potter, and she loved this book and like ate it up. And also, it's beautiful. The cover is amazing. Look at the golden edges, and then look, I love a book that's beautiful without the dust jacket too, and like, look at this. Oh my gosh, like just so pretty. And like the end papers, it's just a gorgeous book. This book also adds more romance. So if you were reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and you were like, this is so great, can we amp up the romance by like a couple notches? This will get you done. This will get you done. Okay, I had to switch to my laptop because my iPad died. My laptop might be on the verge of dying too. I always like to film when all my shit's about to die. Yeah, it says it's about to die. Perfect. I've started kind of like pulling all the books off the shelf because all my stuff's about to die. If you liked A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which has a 4.29 out of over 1.6 million reads, then you should read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This book has a 3.86 out of 728,000 reads, and it was a personal 5-star for me. I'm sure you've heard about this book. This one's kind of more popular than some of the other ones on this list. This book is so cute. If you like kind of a mystery, like a murder mystery that is a little bit more cozy, kind of, like I wouldn't really say that Good Girl's Guide to Murder is like a cozy mystery. This one is definitely more so a cozy mystery that's high stakes, but kind of just like also fun. You'll totally enjoy this. I felt like A Girl's Guide to Murder was a murder mystery that was easily digestible. Obviously, it's like YA. This is the same kind of thing, but it's old people instead of teenagers. It is a really fun murder mystery following these 4 pensioners who go about trying to solve murders every Thursday. Usually it's gonna be cold cases, but then someone in their orbit dies and they think it's a great opportunity to solve a real life murder. The 4 main characters are so fun. Their dynamics are amazing. It's kind of like sweet to read about like 4 old people who have like such a zest for life. I think that especially as young people, we kind of have this like weird relationship with growing older and this idea like what life is going to be like when you're older. And reading a book like this is like really touching and heartfelt, and obviously like it explores themes of grief and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's also just like a book about love and a book about fun and a book about old people just like not giving a fuck because they're old, and what are they gonna do? Like put them in jail? Okay, I'm gonna die tomorrow. Like who cares? It's one of I think 4 or 5, I'm not exactly sure, but it's like a whole collection within the same universe. Totally recommend. Such a fun time. So for this next book, I have 2 recommendations spinning off of it depending on why you liked the book. The book that we're starting with is If You Liked Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This has a 4.02 out of 1.2 million reads. If you liked this book because of the way that it explored family dynamics, the way that it explored grief and like the complicated relationships we have with our parents and with our siblings and all of that kind of like family stuff, if that's what you really liked about this book, you should read This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. This book has a 3.8 out of 155,000 reviews. I love this book. This is my favorite book of 2023. Personal 5 stars, obviously. This book is about a woman whose father's on his deathbed and she's really struggling with that. And in kind of coming to terms with that and working through the grief of the imminent loss of her father, she finds a way to time travel to her 16th birthday and relive that kind of time with him and make different decisions in her life. And when she falls asleep on her 16th birthday, she wakes back up and she's 30 again, and she can see how different decisions impact different things in her life and how her life can change. It is really good. It made me cry. It has, again, obviously those great explorations of family dynamics, of grief, particularly like relationships with your father. It's a magical realism kind of book because there's like some time travel, but like not in like a sci-fi kind of way, more in like a magical kind of thing happening in our reality that we know it kind of way. It is a really touching tale about the life that you leave and the invisible strings that are all around you, and just, it's so scrumdiddlyumptious. You should check it out. If you liked Malibu Rising because you liked interweaving of different life stories and Hollywood rock star element that was to the side of it, and you liked seeing different people come together and have different stories and how it all kind of culminates together as Taylor Jenkins Reid kind of does, then you should read Modern Lovers by Emma Straub. This book follows two families who live in New York and their lives are deeply intertwined. The parents are kind of like dealing with the fact that their life kind of maybe didn't turn out the way they thought it would, and the kids are kind of on the brink of starting their lives. They're graduating high school and they're dealing with the fact that their life, they have to make something of it, and they want to make something of it. And how do you do that? 4 or 5 different perspectives woven in throughout this book come together in like a really beautiful way. There's like this Hollywood subplot because the parents were in a band when they were younger, so it kind of pulls that into. This book has a 3.42 out of 54,000 reviews, and it was a personal 4 stars from me. Now, these next ones are not, if you liked this book, you should read this other book. They're more so, if you like this thing in life, then you should read this book, because you might like it too. So if you like true crime, okay, if you are a girly who is sitting down listening to that makeup and killer show, you know what I'm talking about. Like if you were doing your makeup, if you were falling asleep, if you were listening to this podcast about true crime and you're watching all the docuseries and you're doing all that stuff, you should read Love Letters to a Serial Killer by Tasha Coriel. This book has a 3.28 out of 30,000 reads. This book is crazy. This is a personal 5 stars for me. Not because like it's the best thing that was ever written, but because reading it was like when you drive by a car accident and you're like, I probably shouldn't look, but like I also can't look away. Like it was giving that feeling. It's about a girl is kind of upset with her life and is kind of just like not having it, just not, kind of down on her luck, if you will. And so she starts taking out her feelings about her life sucking on this man who has been accused of being a serial killer, and she's writing him these letters, and he writes her one back. Goes to where they're doing his trial, watches it unfold, and you see like these collection of women who are like in love with him, like the whole I'm in love with a serial killer thing. You see it happen here, and it's just crazy. Like it's just crazy. Yeah, it's a wild time. So if you like true crime, you should totally check out this book, because like it's got you written all over it. Okay, baby, I think you would like this. If you like the movie Sleepless in Seattle, which who doesn't, you should read For Some Color by B.K. Borison. This has a 3.98 out of 176,000 reads and was a personal 4 stars from me. This book is based on Sleepless in Seattle. A hopeless romantic meets a demoralized radio host in this cozy Sleepless in Seattle inspired love story. This book is super cute. So he runs a love radio show, but he's kind of over it. He's like, love's not real. He's kind of cynical, kind of like bah humbug about love. She is kind of a hopeless romantic, but it's never really worked out for her. She's kind of like, maybe this is not a thing that's gonna happen for me. I have all this other love in my life with my daughter and with my friends. Maybe this is all I need. Her daughter actually calls into his radio show and it's like, my mommy needs to find love. And so they team up to find her love, and I'll let you read it to see how it unfolds from there. B.K. Borison is a really great author who I got introduced to with this book. Thank you, Lonnie. I will always shout out Lonnie when I read B.K. Borison. She's actually about to hook me up with the new book, Good Spirits. So that'll be my next B.K. Borison read. But it's a really good time, and the characters are so lovable, kind of in that Allie Hazelwood kind of way, where like, this feels like a real person that I'd really meet and really know and want to be their friend and like want to be you. So sweet, such a fun read. And I love radio shows. I don't know, I have this like weird romanticization of radio shows. Being a radio show host, I always like wanted to be like Becca in Pitch Perfect and like have my own radio show, so it was kind of fun to also read in this book. So for my last one, if you were a kid who liked Disney Channel more than you liked Nickelodeon, if you were all over Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, Camp Rock, Jonas Brothers, all of that, if you were clocking in at 8/7 Central, okay, or Disney Channel shows, then you should read Semi-Well Adjusted Despite Literally Everything by Allison Stoner. This book has a 4.39 out of 8,000 reads. I don't rate memoirs because it's what it is, it's a memoir, but I did like it a lot. I liked it a whole lot. So this is a book written by Allison Stoner, who was a kid in the entertainment industry from the age of like, I think they started when they were 6 or 7, and they blew up originally because they were the white girl in the Missy Elliott video. But then they went to go star in lots of things on Disney Channel. Most famously, they were on Camp Rock, and they were in a bunch of other movies, and then did the whole teen star thing. They toured with Camp Rock and all of that kind of stuff. This memoir details that experience for them, both in front of the camera and within their personal life, and kind of how child stardom affects your personal life as well as your professional life, and the effects of growing up in that way. They now do a lot of advocacy work, working with child stars and advocating for better working conditions for child stars. And it's a really, really, really great memoir. I audiobooked it. Allison narrates it themselves, and they did Phineas and Ferb, so they're really good at, you know, the whole narration thing. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, you know, the narration was like amazing. Listening it to an audiobook. I always like when an audiobook is narrated by its author because I think that it adds to the impact. But yeah, it's a really impactful memoir. There is a pretty decent sized list of trigger warnings that is included in the book. So please heed those, obviously, before you pick it up. But if you decide to pick it up, I think you'll really enjoy it because it's a very impactful memoir. They kind of just like lay it all out there, which made for a very interesting read. It's very enlightening to understand what that's really like. So yeah, I don't know. I really liked it and I think you should read it. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a hot mess when I was filming that. So I'm gonna have a really fun time editing it because I just kind of feel like I was a little bit all over the place. We'll see how this goes on the editing room floor. So that's gonna be it for this video. Those are all some books that I think that if you liked that thing, you should read this other thing. If you have any recommendations based on any of the books that I mentioned in this video, I would love to hear them. A lot of these were like personal faves of mine. So if you have a recommendation that falls within the same vein, I would obviously love to read it. Not that my TBR needs any more things added to it. That's gonna be it for this video before all my stuff dies. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it more than you know. If you want to be friends, I'll have my Goodreads link down below. I also finally started a Bookstagram, so I'll have that link down below as well. It is Abigail with 2 L's fronts. You can find me on there. We can be friends, follow each other. We can comment on each other's stuff. We can like each other's stories. Like I'm a certified story liker. Okay, I really am. But yeah, I finally made one, so you can go follow it down below. I have some posts up there for you to go check out. That is gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I appreciate it more than you know. And I will catch you in the next one. All right, mwah, toodaloo. See you next time. Bye.